All right.
This call is now over before it began.
Yes, exactly. Hello, everybody. We're recording now. So let's mute Dara. Mute Pam, because we know that. All right. Let's mute. Well, Stephanie, you're fine. You're not laughing hysterically. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our December 1st call, and I am so excited. Okay, all I see is a big screen of Pam literally falling back. I actually am really excited that we have our team call falling on the first of the month. I think it's great that the beginning of the month we all connect. And Pam, Darla, you got to stop. I can't look at you, ladies. All right. So we are going to, I'm really excited that we're meeting on the first of the month. I think it's a great way to discuss our goals for the month and the new fun things that our children are saying. So Darla and I were talking, and as I mentioned, Darla, now you're sending messages. Jesus. Oh, we're recording. All right, so Darla and I are both going to kind of take on the call today, and we wanted to talk a little bit about who you are, because when she and I were talking, she sent me a text and she said, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Well, did you delete your phone messages? Like, this is Catherine. Like, what's the problem?" And she was like, "No, really, like, who are you as a coach? What is it about coaching that you're passionate about? And what sort of mission are you on? Does that mission have true purpose in your life? Because that will, if that's the case, then that will come out in your posts. It'll come out either, that way with passion and people can feel that, or it will also come out, boring and you won't really attract anybody, especially attracting people in your target market that are like you, because you're not being yourself. You're simply posting for the sake of posting. So, yeah. They're alive. Oh, he's hungry. Darla, take it away. You're hungry? After we just had dinner? Oh, this is Jack. Hey, Jack. Can you say hi? You're going to be a goofball? All right, that's fine, because I'm going to finish what I'm going to say. All right, deal? All right, babe? Can you wait like 2 minutes? Let me at least finish the intro. You don't care. Okay. So, anyway, so are you being intentional with your posts and productive with your time when you're working your business, which is something that Darla and I have talked a lot about because we started reading The Miracle Morning, and it has had so many eye-openers and so many aha moments that, Darla and I cannot wait to share with you guys. So, Darla, I'm going to go ahead and let you take it away, and then I'll jump back in. All right? You're unmuted.
All right. Did you want me to start where I want to start, or did you want me to
do your
wrap
thing
up with my thing?
Do your thing.
If you like Danny, can you do Danny's head? I might throw my neck out, so I'm not going to do it.
He can. All right, go ahead. You start. I'm gonna.
What? Oh, she's gone. I'm gonna start. Okay. But anyway, because she was saying, I can't remember how the conversation started, but she's like, we were just talking about questions about, what makes. I posted a video. I don't think I posted it in our big group, but I had posted a video on my team page, and basically she was asking the question. This is from a woman who was, ranked a coach for about 18 months, and then she said she finally decided that it was enough, and that she was done, I guess, being mediocre, done just being average, and she went within, I think she said 18 months from that moment of just saying, well, this is what I'm doing every day, and so this is status quo, and then she went to 6-star elite. So 6-star diamond, and then she's like an elite coach. And she said, I just started becoming intentional with what I am doing and then realizing who I am and what I can bring to the table with others. And it was actually a very interesting video. I need to post it into the Synergy group. But the video was the training video was about an hour and a half long. and I've listened to it like 3 or 4 times before, but something that she said today was, we always talk about, who our avatar is and what we are trying to do with our business. But, we are looking for someone, not to say to fulfill our needs and who our avatar is and who we're marketing to. But she said in the video, did you ever stop to think about who you are? I mean, because if you don't know who you are and you can authentically say with bold confidence who you are never going to attract that avatar because you can't even figure it out for yourself who you are. So Catherine was asking some questions, and I was like, well, who are you? And I know she probably got that. I was like, Catherine, and I was like, no, who are you? I mean, who are you being? And I had a quote written down from E.E. Cummings that says, once we believe in ourselves, we can risk curiosity, wonder, spontaneous delight that reveals the human spirit. And basically is, we're supposed to be, we are transparent, and hopefully we are honest, and hopefully we are not portraying what we think other people want to be. And I had some very harsh notes for myself when I started looking into like, well, who am I? Am I revealing? Am I fulfilling somebody else's view of who I should be? Am I authentically being who I want to be? Am I being transparent? I mean, if I say to somebody, I really do not like push-ups, I'm not going to put a bunch of videos on I have a push-up challenge or do something. I actually do like push-ups. But I mean, it's like, I shouldn't be, in my sense of the word, I shouldn't be portraying something that I am not to attract people that I think I should be attracting. I hope it makes sense. It's like, if I want the perfect avatar and I have the perfect avatar, then is that what I've created, or is that who I'm supposed to have in my circle? I mean, I have said to, my coaches that, I'm not doing this to rank up quickly and, add coaches like a charm, to a bracelet and add all these people and I gain all this rank. And then when I'm not authentic and I'm not honest with them and myself, then they all drop and fall away. And then I lose all this rank that I didn't really build. I'm in it for, I want for my coaches, I want them to succeed and my challengers to succeed more than I want it for myself. And so I would say, I want them to feel better about themselves. I want to feel better about myself. But it's like when I see somebody who has had like Valency, I mean, your story blows me out of the water. It just does. I mean, most people would have given up. Most people would go on Facebook and say, I hurt. I'm in so much pain. And why did this happen to me? But you're like, okay, this happened and it sucks. And yet I'm moving on and I'm going to do this and I'm going to push through. And some days I can't. And most days I can. And, Kathleen said one time too, what do you do? I hurt. I was talking to somebody else. I hurt. And I hate saying that I hurt because me hurting should not define me, but I can't put a video out there doing what thing I couldn't do. 22-minute hardcore. I loved the program. I just can't do it. I can't do it. That 22-minute hardcore would take me 44 minutes because I have to stop. So I always felt like if I had to stop and go through something 3 or 4 times, I couldn't keep up, that I was a failure. But I'm not going to post this video about how great I think 22-minute hardcore is when I can't even finish in 22 minutes. So I had to kind of like redo how I'm thinking, because it doesn't matter if I paused. It matters that I did it. Maybe I should have posted a video that when my hips got so bad that they felt like glass and I couldn't walk, that I couldn't even get into warrior pose in yoga without falling over. Maybe I should have posted that, but I thought no one wants to see that. So I'm attracting the perfect avatar to me, but what I'm attracting is not in my circle. It's not, And I'm not looking for somebody who has RA. I'm looking for somebody who is so strong in the human spirit. They're not going to take no for an answer, and they're going to overcome. And for my coaches, I want the same thing for my coaches. I want, because the women and men that I have in my circle have had horrible things happen, but they're still here. They're not going to give up. They're going to keep on pushing, and they have a perseverance and a strength that comes from within. And that's the challengers. I mean, none of my challengers have had it easy. None of them have had it easy. They're all overcoming something. So it's like, that's what I want to empower someone and help someone feel better about themselves than when they first started, because we're not selling makeup or Avon or a product that makes you feel fabulous after 3 minutes after you're using it. You'll feel fabulous probably in 30 days. You'll be stronger in 2 weeks, but it's not instantaneous. So we're not selling something that's supposed to make them feel better instantly, because when you change a lifestyle, it's not going to be instant. But what I can do is I can say, hey, in 30 days, look back at how you started in day 1. How do you feel now? And the majority of them will say, I'm completely different. That's, we're not selling something that's going to sit on the shelf, or I know I've said this before, but we're not even selling a lifestyle. I mean, hey, this is what's going to make you better. I talked to a woman who's facing, I think she hopefully will be a new challenger. She's facing a fusion surgery, like her entire spine. It's like her spine is so messed up. And she was talking about how her SI joints are hurting so bad, and L1 through 5 is hurting. And she's talking about how much pain she was in, and she's a school teacher. And they wanted to have a surgery. And I was like, have you tried this or that or the other thing? And she says, no, I haven't. And I'm like, I can tell you to try it, because I've had injections in my spine. I hurt bad. I have RA, and this is what made me feel better. I wasn't even trying to sell her the product. I told her to try something else other than Beachbody, but she's like, I want to know what you are doing. And I authentically shared. So when I ask, who are you and what are we doing and why are we here? It's like we're helping somebody. I wrote down many things that you can propose will make people feel better about themselves. However, you got to go about your ways as you are helping them honestly. If you cannot help somebody honestly, and you're not recruiting, and you're not adding challengers or coaches like their charms, if you're not going to be honest and real with them, then let them move on to someone who will be there for them. You have to be willing to be in there for the long haul and be intentional. Also, too, if you can let your people, I hate to say the word people, share their dreams and what they want and be on board with them honestly, they're going to ask you what your dreams, what your wishes are, what you want for your life. And when you share your why and what makes you tick, they're going to be on board with it. They're going to want it as much as you want it. I want to say, I think it was Alyssa, when the coaches said that when she was trying to get to be 10, the top 10, that she shared with her teams, how much she wanted it and how it was a dream for her, and her team pushed harder to get her there because they wanted to see it as for her as much as she wanted to be there. And also, personal development. Kath and I have been talking about the Miracle Morning. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not a quick fix. It's not going to be, for me at least, it's not going to be a quick, easy fix, because how many times have we read all these feel-good books, that, just say, I want this to happen. I am this person. And that little voice, and I can't say, act like you're a millionaire. Act like you are, for me, 10-star diamond. Because I can walk around the house saying, I'm a 10-star diamond. I am a millionaire. But that little voice in the back of my head's like, no, you're not. You're not there yet. You're not even diamond yet. You don't have 8 coaches. You can't even rank up. So I have to set aside something in my brain that starts out small that's going to be non-negotiable for me. Like, I don't like getting up early. I'd like to be a morning person, but I'm going to have to say, non-negotiable, personal development first thing in the morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. And it's going to have to be a struggle and be real. And that has to be who I am, because if I don't set off to have this for my day, then I'm going to be fighting an uphill battle. There was a chapter in personal development book, I think it was in the Miracle Morning, that said, you know, think of your first 5 minutes of when you wake up as you have a well, that this well is pure and it is not tainted, and it is the freshest, clearest, most beautiful water. And that's your brain, your emotions, your soul. But if you let the first 5 minutes be consumed with what's going on in the world, if it's negative, you know, negative self-talk, a fight with your spouse or your partner or whoever, then you're poisoning that well. And so that's what you're going to be pouring out to other people all day long. And that's what you're going to be feeding yourself with. So I have to be intentional to set aside moments in meditation and prayer, and honestly being like affirmations of, you know, this is where I want to be. I'm not there yet, but what can I do to make that happen for myself? And it's the same thing with our challengers. If we are not showing up, not being present, not being honest, they know. It's like sending out an invitation, you know, a mass invite, like sending out 50 mass invites, and all you do is change the name. People can tell. I mean, I got added to some party for something. I don't even know what it is, but I got in that group. They're like, oh, they're all adding to it. And it was 3 or 4 people in this group selling stuff. And it was so gross and skeevy, I left the group, because I'm like, they just invited 700 people to this group. And I don't even know who you are. So I don't, you know, it's like, you know, you need to be present. Show up to your life. Show up and be the person you want to be, because that's who you're going to attract, is if you are being honest with yourself. I'm not saying you, this is more for me than anybody else. If you start thinking negative, you will act negative. That's pretty much for me. I can try not to act that people know around me that there's a little something off. And I can say, oh, I'm fine. And, you know, I'm not. Know your purposes. Oh, know your principles in life and how you want to live your life and how you want to run your business. Because if you're open and honest and upfront with your principles and what you believe and what is important to you and what offends you and what you love, and you run your business the same way, you're going to be successful. And anything you create that is less than what you deserve is just plain less. So don't settle for anything less either. If you only get to be 1-star diamond at the end of your career at Beachbody, but you have all of these coaches and you've changed all of these lives, then that's what you want. And it's better to live and help enrich other people's lives than just to be. There was a coach that was actually stalking Pamela. The reason I say this was when she posted things on Twitter and Instagram. I mean, he was stalking her like crazy. And I looked him up on Facebook, and he's like a 5-star diamond. I think he's got a 6-star diamond lifetime rank. And there's actually there's some criticism on his page because someone kept saying, you know, you're being what Beachbody is not supposed to be. He was recruiting people like crazy and just stalking them on Twitter and stalking them on Instagram and saying, you know, join my team, do this, do that. He didn't care. He didn't care anything. He had not spent 5 minutes talking to anybody. So that's pretty much all I have. I'm not going to say this other stuff, but that's why I say, you know, just figure out who you are. And the more you work, the harder you work in being the best that you can be, people are naturally going to be attracted to you. And just figure out, you know, like if someone has an aversion to something that Beachbody does, is it offending you because you're passionate about the product? Is it offending you because it's making you look bad? I mean, do you share Shakeology as, you know, this has changed my life. I feel so much better. I am so much better because of Shakeology, because of these products. Or, you know, hey, I like Shakeology. I could live without it, though. I mean, are we sharing it like we had the best sale at Macy's, or this is the best makeup foundation I've ever used, and people can tell enthusiastically that I'm promoting my life that way? So I'm going to stop talking now.
And that's a good point to bring up, because it's something that Danielle Natoni brought up at Leadership this year. She said towards the end of her speech, I bleed Beachbody blue. And she said, that doesn't mean that when you go onto my page, all you see is Beachbody, Beachbody, Beachbody. It means that I wholeheartedly believe in anything and everything that Beachbody offers and stands for, that my heart is 100% in it and there. Even though I brand myself separately and I am my own person, deep inside, this is part of my soul, this company and what it's done for me and how it's healed me. So, and part of that healing, and I'm going to branch off from what, Darla said, part of that healing is the personal development. And I've had someone recently tell me, I don't read books. Like, I'll listen to some YouTube stuff, but I don't read books. And my thought was, I'm really sorry, because there's a lot of things that aren't offered and a lot of content that isn't offered on Audible or on a YouTube video. And there's also no other way that things can be taught besides sitting down and reading a book and, taking it in that way. You can listen to something about, as many times as you want, but there's something different and special about the written word. And I think it's really important. So I want to encourage all of you that if you aren't reading a personal development book, first of all, good for you for continuing to be here. And that is something that, Nikki Goss had said in a call. She had said, if you're not currently doing, if you're not reading personal development and you haven't since you started being a coach, I can't believe you're still here, because I wouldn't be. And I completely agree with that. I started with a coach that wasn't working the business and wasn't doing it effectively. And then my coach quit. And, I've had a chronic lack of support. And I think a lot of people have that, especially the bigger this business gets, because, upline coaches get lazy, and, especially if they're already high up there. So I think that it's really important to make personal development a part of your everyday life. Tonight, when I do my 8 p.m. workout, and hopefully don't get interrupted by the kids, and, before, even at the risk of, one of the kids getting up at 5 a.m, or God forbid sooner, I'm going to read some of my personal development book. And it is so different, honestly. And I am both listening on Audible to The Miracle Morning for network marketers, and I'm reading the book, and I'm ahead in Audible, but I am getting something so much more out of reading it as well. I'm making notes. I'm being an active reader. Whereas a lot of times when you're listening to an Audible, not that isn't important, but usually you're doing something else. Like when I'm listening to it, yes, I'm listening, but I'm also lunging my horse. I'm driving in the car, so I'm paying attention to traffic. I am not 100% engrossed. When you're sitting reading a book, you are giving that book its attention, for the same as being on this call. If you're sitting here staring at this screen right here, I have your attention, and you are listening to me, and you are engaging, and you are actively learning and taking in, everything that is being said. And that is important. And it's an important part of learning. And so I really encourage, a lot of people, or encourage everybody to read a personal development book. And I know I pretty much bring up personal development every call, but it's because I'm really finding it vital, and it's so easy to skip. It is so easy to skip. But start with 3 pages a day. I don't want to hear you don't like the book. I don't want to hear it's too hard. I don't want to hear you put it down for a couple days because it was getting too personal. I don't care, because your challengers and your coaches need you. And you have an obligation when you signed up as a coach and you started taking on challengers and you started signing coaches. That's an obligation. And, that is I'm trying to think of the right words to say this. This is your, I have thought about quitting for 6 months and signing up under an upline that I want, right? Because I didn't know, because if I knew then what I know now, which a lot of people, don't know when they first sign up as coaches, of course, once they get to know different coaches and see some rock star people, of course, they're going to want to, like quit and join, someone that they really, that knows what the heck they're doing. But where was I going with that? But I can't, oh yeah, that's where I was going. No, I'm not going to quit for 6 months because I won't do that to my coaches and my challengers. I will not leave them with an upline that they didn't agree to sign up with. I made a verbal contract. Yes, they clicked a contract with signing up as a coach, but I made a personal connection with this individual, and I owe them enough to read my personal development. At this point, it's no longer about me. At this point, it's about helping other people because I have to stay a step ahead of them so that I can help them. And if I'm not a step ahead of them and they have a question, then it's my job to figure out the answer to that question and help them as the very best that I can. That is my job. That is an agreement I make with every challenger that buys a challenge pack, with every coach that clicks that I consent and signs off. Every single person. So don't tell me you don't have time to read, because it's not true. Don't tell me you can't fit your workout in, and don't tell me you don't read. Girl, I don't read. No. Don't tell me you don't read. I don't want to hear that. Don't even go there. Okay? And so it is so vital. And I just wanted to really stress that. And part of it, I'm going to go over some of the principles of self-discipline, because that's something that Darla and I are learning right now, is how to be disciplined in the mornings, because we both want to be morning people. And, I'm getting there slowly. Darla's getting there slowly. We both have that want behind it, that drive to be a morning person. She told me on the phone today, I want to be a morning person. I said, a month and a half ago, I said the same thing. I've decided I want to. So we both agreed on a time and we set our alarms. Our alarms are both now set every single day to go off at the exact same time every day. I know you can give me all the nasty look you want, Darla, but we're getting up early. So, and how to be productive with that time, because at the first couple of weeks I was like, oh, I'm up early. Oh, this is really good. I'm just going to zone out now because I'm really tired. Completely negating the purpose of getting up early. I might as well have stayed in bed and slept an extra 2 hours. How to be purposeful with your life, with your coaches, with your challengers, with your personal development, with your mornings, because all heck could break loose the rest of the day, especially people with kids. Hello, what has my life been the last 2 hours? All heck can break loose. But the only thing you have control over is your morning. And learning how to harness that and control that is, first of all, it's empowering, makes you feel like a badass. Sorry if there's kids. But it's empowering, and it's such a good feeling. And it's so great when you're done at whatever time you're done with your miracle morning or your power hour or whatever. It is such a good feeling, like, okay, I've gotten some of the most important parts of my business done by 8:30 a.m. So if the kids start vomiting, whatever happens, if I can't fit my, workout in till later, depending on how you make your miracle morning. Some people want to do it in the mornings, like Pam, dear God, you are amazing for doing it at, an ungodly early hour, which I actually am going to do tomorrow morning. I'm going to get up at 5 to work out to try to beat the children. So because I also want to try the full immersion of being a mom. That was my mission for the next 48 hours, was to be a mom. So I'm not doing so well. I'm losing my mind. So anyway, so another part of, the discipline is being a product of the product, which is part of what I'm saying, the personal development, doing that workout. And, if you are being a product of the product, you are 100% confident when you talk to people, this ish works. This is awesome. I have lost, billions of pounds by just drinking Shakeology, doing my workout, guaranteeing that these products work because I've done it myself. And yeah, just like Darla said, you've heard 1,000 times of someone from Younique, or even just someone from Sephora that said, hey, I really like this MAC eyeshadow. It's the freaking bomb. And you buy it the next day. If you have as much enthusiasm and you put the enthusiasm behind it with your posts 3 times a day, watch that segue, if you're sharing that enthusiasm, when you talk to everybody, it will happen. It will happen for you. Your business will grow. So posting 3 times a day. There are systems in place now to keep us on track. You know, the Beachbody has a system. Every single top coach has a system that they now shared publicly. They're all on their websites. They are everywhere. We have them in our group. We have 4 or 5 different systems, for us to do. So again, don't tell me that you don't know how to do that, because you're lying to yourself. Never mind the fact that you're lying to me. You're lying to yourself. And it's the same reason why you don't, sorry, put that on vibrate. The same reason why, I don't have time, or I don't read books. Don't lie to yourself. You can read a book. You know how to read. Okay. Like, you can physically read a book. So I don't want to hear it. And so part of that posting, take people along that journey. And I've said that before. I started sharing about that I wanted to become a morning person. I've been sharing that system. Now I'm sharing being a morning person and my Core de Force journey. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to share what happened tonight, or I might do it tonight if I can, do that. But the point is, I'm going to share, how I still got my workout in no matter what time it was, knowing that I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. I'm still going to do my 8 p.m. workout, just sharing those experiences with people. And people are watching. I promise you, I know people are watching. Okay. Especially if you're starting more conversations with people, you're commenting on their stuff. Your stuff is coming up on their profile. And they just got to get to know you. Like, let people warm up to you and see those posts and comment and send private messages and just connect with people. And part of inviting everybody, share with everyone, from your gut, and that will come off as 100% genuine. And I don't ever want anyone to ever send another copy paste invite. Again, yes, Anita Myron has a fabulous invite. And I only know that because Pamela and I happened to both share it the same call one time. And I thought, haha, that is so funny that Pamela just said that, because that is literally word for word what I said. So it's, don't ever do that again. If your message could be sent to any other person besides the one person you're sending it to, if my message to Valency could be sent to Pam or Darla, then I don't know Valency and I am not well enough equipped to help her yet, because I haven't taken that extra 30 seconds to think about Valency. I am sending a broad spectrum invite, which is not personal. So if you can share it with anyone else, you need to slow down, take the 30 seconds or take however much time you need to respond to people. And make a mental commitment to do this and make it happen, and commit to each person. I commit to Valency when I send her that message individually as a person, because she is separate from Pam, who is separate from Darla. And I treat them all differently, and, I will, mentor and coach them differently. And they each get a special part of my attention based on who they are, because I took the time to get to know them. So take that time, because honestly, Nikki Goss had said in her video that I'm referencing, and I can always send the link for it. She had said, if you send that invite, that, generalized invite, it's going to set you back at least 30 to 40 days with that person. And it will, because then that trust is gone, because you can tell, I totally thought that copy paste was like really authentic. I was like, that sounds really good. And then I realized when I sent one of those to someone with the wrong name, I was like, when I sent that, first of all, I was horrified. And second, I was like, that was really crappy of me. Like, this person deserves way more of me than that. I mean, both of them do. The person whose name it was and the person who got the wrong name in their invite, their fake invite, And I clearly didn't take the time to get to know that person. So, Darla and I are telling you from experience, so I'm saying don't do that anymore, because I did it. And yes, I had maybe 1 or 2 challengers from that general invite, but can I tell you that they're with me now? Can I tell you that I identify with them personally? No, because there was nothing special about our conversation beforehand. I didn't get to know them as people. And creating genuine conversations will create long-term coaches. For example, Melanie Mitro, she has one of the lowest, I don't know how to word it, amount of coaches that have quit. She has the highest retention rate of coaches. You know why? Because she's very authentic. Yes, she has a business mind, but she is incredibly authentic. And she gets to know each and every person beforehand very well. And when she signs them up as a coach, she knows that they are going to stick with it. You know, like they are like ready, you know? And that is why. It's because she's incredibly authentic and she's honest and she's true. And that's the only way that you can do this business. So also, and then mentioning running your own challenge groups, because our challenge group is kind of coming to the 30-day point. So we're going to, you know, start discussing probably next week what we want to do. Are we all going to break off? Are we going to stick to a team, you know, a group together? But running your own challenge groups, and the reason why you should also run your own and not always be with a group, it is fun to switch it up like we've done, is you need to take responsibility for yourself and your team from day one. I knew when I signed up as a coach, which is something that Nikki Goss had said again. I really like her. I've started following her. She's fabulous. But she said, you know, from day one that she signed up as a coach, she took responsibility for herself and her team. And I have said that before, you know, to my previous coach. You know, when I had my first coach quit, I was heartbroken. I was so upset. And you know, I was told, oh, it's, you know, don't worry about it. It's fine. It happens. But I thought, no, it doesn't happen. It means I did something wrong. I didn't show them the potential in this business, or I didn't guide them correctly, or, you know, I didn't inspire them in a way that they're inspired, because we all have different love languages and different ways we're inspired. There was something I didn't or couldn't do. And yes, you move on, you do move on, because it is ultimately out of your control if it isn't right for someone in their point in their life. But the first thing you do is look inward when something happens with your team or whatever. Did I guide them wrong? You know, what is going on? So, and that is something that I think is really important, and, you know, is taking responsibility for yourself. Pushing it off, first of all, just in life is, you know, well, it's immature and irresponsible. So anyway, a little tough love tonight, ladies. Sorry. And then another quote I wanted to give you guys is, you are exactly who you choose to be. And I know people that have quit and they've said, Beachbody turned me into something I didn't like, or I don't recognize myself anymore. Beachbody did this, Beachbody did that. Again, take responsibility for your own stuff. You know, take responsibility for yourself. Beachbody didn't do anything. They didn't tell you to post something like that. They didn't tell you to filter that photo. Carl Deichler certainly doesn't filter his photos. I see his sweaty selfies all the time. He looks terrible, like I do after a workout. You know, it's, and that's perfect. And he is showing, you know, proof of what you do. And so, no, again, take responsibility for yourself. Don't blame Beachbody for not putting time into your family, or, you know, not prioritizing correctly, because that does take time with anything. If you were to have started a new job, were you going to blame, let's say you get a job at Starbucks, you're going to blame Starbucks for not having proper balance in your life? No, it is harder because this is an in-home business, but it can happen, but you have to take responsibility. So, choose to be who you want, which is how I wanted to end it, you know, full circle with what Darla was saying about, you know, being you and attracting the right people for you. Because I've done it before. I've attracted the wrong people. And yes, I still love those people, you know, and they may or may not take advantage of this business, but they're not my target market. And that's a whole nother call in and of itself, is identifying your target market, which we can probably do next week or sometime soon if we want to talk about that. But for the new year, today's December 1st, it is your chance to connect with people in a 100% authentic you way. And you can do whatever you want with Beachbody. It is just the shell. You know, the inside is each individual coach and what they do with it. And, you know, yes, we may all read the same personal development books, but what we take from it is different, and how we react and how we implement is different. So I just wanted to touch base on all of that. And Darla, did you have any other closing statements or anything? Okay. Well, then I hope you guys are having a lovely Thursday. And I'm so glad that we got to talk on the 1st of December, because I think it's a good time. We have, another month to set up a plan for the new year and start momentum now and build more connections and love on more people and leave every single person better than when you started the conversation. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the evening. I'm going to go put people to bed so that I can do a workout, hopefully. Pam, did you want to say anything? We usually do a round robin, so sorry about that.
I was going to say, Pam, you have anything?
No, I'm good. But yeah, your niche market next week would be great.
Okay, good. Then we can talk about that. All right. Then I will talk to you guys later, okay?
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for
Good night.
joining, and I'll post the recording.